Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to see how we can create a counter app. I mean, an app that can count letters in a given string or in a given in a given text. So you can say this is my master node, and I have two folders created here. Inside my counter app directory, I have frontend and backend folder created here. So inside the backend folder, we can see that we have a auto backend.sh. So basically what I did is that I created this auto script. So what it does is that it first creates a Docker file containing all of the content of the image. Definitely that image will be on the node because we will be using Express in our backend. Then there will be a package.json file to install all the packages and then our server.js code. Okay. And one last thing we also have in this file is that the deployment. Okay, so inside the deployment we have a service which is of type cluster IP and exposed on the port 3000. Why port 3000? Because in the backend we are exposing our backend on the port 3000. So we have given this variable port to the app.listen function, and that variable contains the port 3000 in the server.js. So let us come out of this file, and if I just execute this file, it will successfully create the projects files. Then also it will create the Docker image by executing the Docker file, and our image will be generated. Now what I am doing is that I am placing the images on my local machine instead of pushing them onto the Docker hub. And to achieve so, I'm doing the same command and executing this same script on on the machines that I have on my cluster. Okay, so my Kubernetes cluster have this master node and it also has this worker node here. So in order to make the image properly working while the image is on the local machine and not on the Docker Hub repository, what we need to do is that we need to explicitly mention in the YAML file that we are we are pulling the image locally, so you don't need to pull the image from the Docker Hub. So we will set the image pull policy never. This is the thing to be noted here in the YAML file, of course. So now, as we have executed this script and we have our files, we have a Docker file, we have a backend.yaml file, package.json, and you can see the server.json is also there. But you can see that before executing this script, there was no files. Okay, so we will do the same. We will go to the worker node and we will go to the backend folder here. And inside this backend folder, you can see that there is only one single script. And if we execute that script, all the files will be created, and simultaneously the Docker image will also be created. And what we will do, first I will clear the screen and I will show you. I will apply the the backend deployment.yaml file which was created when I executed the script. When I applied this file, you can see that the backend deployment has created. There was already a backend service which was running on this master node that would be unchanged. I mean, no changes will be made to it. So basically, what happened is that a deployment was created. If I show you clips, it will get deployed. You can see that the backend deployment has just created. It was created just 23 seconds ago. So simultaneously, what I will do is I will if I type kubectl get SVC, you can see that we also have backend service here. Okay, it is exposed on port 3000, and the type of the service is cluster IP. This one. Okay, and also we have a front end service And whenever if I delete these two services and whenever I execute this command here, kubectl apply -f backend deployment, these services will be created, and if they are created already, there will be a, a stream output that which will say that these services are unchanged and everything is similar to the service, so we don't need to change any service here. Actually, the system was saying that. Okay, so we have a backend settled up. So what we will do, we will go to the frontend directory, and you can see in the frontend directory. I will clear the screen and show you. So in the frontend directory, we have only auto script named auto.sh. So I don't want to get into the details. I will provide these two files into the description of this video. What I will do here is that I will execute this script, and as soon as I execute this script, you can see that the image was created. If I type the command sudo docker images, we can see that the two images were created. Okay, so now I will do the same. I will do the same for the worker node that I have. I will come back to a directory, then I will go to the frontend directory, and there is there are two files, but uh, you need to have this script only. Okay, if you are having any file like default config or index.html, you can simply remove them. Okay, because when you execute this script, this file will automatically be created. So I will type /auto.sh, and yes, the on the on the worker node, the front-end image has been created. So as you can see, the front-end package image has been created. Now I will go to the my master node, and I will check that my pod is running up. If I type kubectl get pods, you can see that there is one pod named backend deployment and something which is ready and is already running. So we are inside the front-end folder. So I will deploy this file, which was created when I executed the step. The command to deploy this file is kubectl apply -f frontend deployment.camel, and when I press enter, you can see that a deployment has been created and the service which was already running has been untouched or unchanged. So if I type kubectl get pods, you can see that we have now two pods and two of them are running. And if I type kubectl get deploy, we can see that we have now two deployments. One was created 22 minutes ago, named as a frontend deployment, and it's already in the ready state. And we also created a backend deployment about 4 minutes ago, nearly 4 minutes ago. Okay, so now we have our deployments. So what we will do, we will try to access the website that we have posted on the frontend. So for that, I will type kubectl get svc, and the frontend service, which is of type node port, has been exposed through the port 30,080. So we'll try to access that website. I will type http:// then this port. So basically, we need the public IP address of our instance to paste before this port number. So control V to paste semicolon, and if I press enter, then you can see that we have our application here. So if I type here anything like hi, how are you, or anything like uh, for example fruits. So how many letters or sorry, characters does this word fruits has? So as soon as I press count letters, you can see in the response box that we have count of the letter as 6. Okay, I will try something else like books. It has 5 letters, and I'll try like EC2. It has 3 letters. Amazon. It has 6 letters. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching this video, and hope this video helps you a lot in learning your Kubernetes and making a simple counter app. So if you want a detailed So I was saying that if you want a detailed explanation of how these things, front end and back end, work together, how does the request coming from this front end and going to the back end? If you want the explanation, I will make a video on that. Okay. Again, guys, thanks for watching this video. I will see you next time.